Hello and welcome back, my fellow nerds, friends, adventurers of Dragonbane. Um, Welcome back to the Midgar Press. And this time around, we're going to cover the professions. As you can see, I have it pulled up right here, profession. We're at the end of classes within the rulebook, and we're now at the start of profession. So, as I mentioned in previous videos, it's a roll system. Roll for it. If you cannot make a decision on what you want to be, roll for it. Um, so we'll just jump right in. You can roll a D10 because there's 10 professions. We've got the artisan, the bard, the fighter, the hunter, the knight, the mage, the mariner, merchant, scholar, and thief. Now, some of these will seem very similar to you through other TTRPGs. And again, the one that I bring up the most is going to be D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. And the reason I bring it up is because it's what I'm used to. It's what I know. It's what I know the most. I'm not saying it's a better system. Um, every TTRPG is better in its own way. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. But what I'm saying is that the professions should seem very similar to any job, to any class, to any type of other TTRPG that has similar professions. An artisan, you're gonna see it's gonna be kind of like your blacksmith, your tanner, a person who can repair equipment. Your bard, come on, we all know who a bard is. When I first started playing TTRPGs, again, specifically Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, I played a bard for like 6 months, probably closer to a year. I love bards. I am a bard. There's the fighter, of course, the one who's up front, who's fighting. The hunter, one who resembles a ranger to D&D. The knight. The knight is going to be your tank. The tank is going to be the one that's up front, close and personal with the bad guys, with the monsters, the enemies, whoever you want to call them. They're up front. You got your mage, and it's as it sounds, it's a mage. It's your wizard. There are no sorcerers or warlocks as of this moment, but right now there is currently mages, so it's kind of your wizard. We have a mariner, which will be your pirate. If you decide to play it that way, you could have been a peacekeeping fisherman who trades all their stuff. That's mariner, yeah. We've also got the merchant. Come on, merchants are gonna be they could potentially be the face character if your bard is not already there. You've got a scholar. Whenever I think of scholar, I always think of Indiana Jones because that's what he was. He was a scholar. And then you got your thief, which also makes me think of Indiana Jones. But we all know thieves are actually rogues. That's just how it goes. But it says the next step is to select a profession for your character. All the player characters are adventurers, but you have learned a thing or two before the game begins. Your choice of profession will determine much about your character, mainly your skills. You get 6 trained starting skills, which is very important, and you must choose from those listed from your profession, also very important. Now, your profession also determines what gear you start out with and which heroic ability you get. It's very true. There are 10 professions to choose from. All are described on the following pages, which we will go through. You are free to select a profession or role for one randomly using the table to the right. Again, Dragonbane is insane with the amount of roll tables. I'm jealous. I love that it does this because I know players who have no idea what they want to play. And even when they pick something that they want to play, they still have no idea what they want to play or how they want to play it. Using a roll table to select everything takes all of the anxiety out of creating a character and allows you to just run with something. It's simple. I love it. I just flat out love it. So let's continue on. So, artisan. With a decent hammer and a trowel and mortar, or a trowel and mortar, a skilled artisan can astonish even the gods. They are proud individuals, these tamers of nature and physical matter, whether they be builders, bricklayers, wainwrights, blacksmith, tanners, or coopers. The artisans are driven by a solemn mission to bring order and structure out of chaos. They construct bridges, houses, fortifications, forge weapons and tools, meld pots and jugs, make barrels, and craft leather armor from tanned animal hides. Each village needs capable artisans, and they are often greatly appreciated for their practical and extremely useful expertise. Boom, that's the artisan. I mean, look at that guy. I wouldn't mess with that guy in a dark alley. So it says your key attribute is strength. Your skills that these are your profession specific skills. So axes, brawling, crafting, hammers, knives, sleight of hand, spot hidden, and swords. Your heroic abilities that it says you should pick from: master blacksmith, master carpenter, or master tanner. And the three of those just depends on which way you want to go with it. Do you want to be a blacksmith? Do you want to be a carpenter? Do you want to be a tanner? They're all reliable. You probably get more out of a blacksmith just because of the weapons and the durability that comes with them, but we haven't gotten into that yet. Don't worry about it. We got you. I got you. I promise. So that's artisan. 9 more to go. Actually, look at these nicknames. Look at these down here. Stonehammer, Wood Cleaver, Strong Fist, Barrel Maker, Bridge Builder, Iron Master. What? It does give you a D6 gear options. So, roll a D6 and that's what you get. You don't have to pick and choose what comes with your character. It's done for you, people. Come on. So you got your bard. We got like a little halfling playing a lute or a lyre. The memory of ancient deeds and riches is kept alive by the bards. They are singers, musicians, and entertainers, mainly travel between inns and marketplaces where they earn their keep through the telling of ballads and fairy tales. Others perform at pricey courts, or princely courts, that's what it is, reciting glorious poems of dragons and heroic kings. Many bards see themselves as chroniclers responsible for preserving contemporary deeds in the memory of future generations. They are the storytellers. They flat out tell the story. This is how knowledge and lore is passed down, is through bards. They are wow. They are always on the lookout for people and achievements worthy of being immortalized in epic verse, and any bard worth their salt is always working on at least a few masterpieces of song, music, and poetry. They always are. Key attribute is going to be your charisma, skills that they are, say, profession specific for the bard: acrobatics, bluffing, evade, knives, languages, myths and legends, performance, and persuasion. The heroic ability you should take is musician. Trust me, I've looked at it. As a bard, you should take it. Moving along. I'm so sorry, y'all. The allergies are just draining into my throat. Okay, fighter. We all know what a fighter is good for. Come on, clearly, look at it. Fighters can earn their living by following the way of the sword. It may, of course, also be the way of the spear or crossbow, but a fighter's speciality is always weapon proficiency and violence. This is not only the way of all fighters are driven by bloodlust. For some, it is a matter of professional pride to achieve the maximum effect with minimal bloodshed. Others are lazy and prefer saber rattling to actual combat. Many fighters are troubled souls haunted by nightmares and bad memories of a life spent in the company of death, which, as a fighter, you're going to encounter lots of death. Friends, allies, and enemies alike. They can therefore be surprisingly sentimental, prone to tears and compassionate embraces. Key attributes are going to be strength, of course, skills, that is class or profession specific, axes, bows, brawling, crossbows, evade, hammers, spears, and swords. Every single one of those, except for evade, is a weapon skill. Fighters are meant for fighting. Facts. The heroic ability they should take is veteran. But look at these nicknames down here. Grave Maker, the Butcher, the Fearless, Cold Steel. Yes. Yes. Next we have the Hunter. Again, the Hunter again is going to be like your ranger. They're the ones that are getting you through the forest. They're kind of fun. Snaring hares, knifing boars, and silently stalking deer in the depths of the forest with arrows on their bowstrings. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hunters live for the hunt and the catch, killing one's prey in a respectful manner and making use of all its parts for food, clothing, tools, and weapons. It is a sacred calling for all true hunters. Their home and destiny are in the wilds, the magnificent, untamed, and cruel. That is where they find peace of mind and gather their strength. That is where their ruthless gods dwell. Many hunters are therefore quite solitary and sometimes find it difficult to behave properly among people. Their key attribute is going to be agility because they got to be fast. The skills that are profession specific: acrobatics, awareness, bows, bushcraft, hunting and fishing, knives, slings, and sneaking. Because you got to be sneaky to catch the prey. The heroic ability they suggest is companion. I've actually had somebody use the companion trait. It's actually kind of fun. Just like the actual profession itself. So now you got your knight. Knights are warriors who have sworn fealty to a higher power, such as an order of knights, a liege lord, or a god. This oath of fealty lies at the heart of their world view and existence. It always includes rules and principles the knight must obey in thought and deed. Demands for chivalry and a noble mind are often combined with an impeccable hatred for anything deemed contrary to the spirit of the oath. Many knights are part of an order, but there are also lone knights who have devoted their lives to defending something specific, perhaps a person or a place that goes or that lives there, gives their lives a higher purpose. So their key attribute is going to be strength. The skills specific for this profession is going to be beast lore, hammers, myth and legends, performance, persuasion, writing, spears, and swords. And then their heroic ability that they suggest is guardian. Mages. Mages have learned to control the ancient forests that permeate nature and the primordial structures of the world. It is not a uniform profession, but includes a motley crew of individualists and headstrong eccentrics. There are several schools of magic with different views of what magic is and how it works. In the core game, you can choose between animism, elementalism, and mentalism. Anim, Animists believe that everything in the world has a spiritual presence and see magic as a power lent by nature's spirits. Elementalists describe magic in terms of four elements that constitute the essence of all things. Mentalists say that magic comes from within and that it can be manifested through self-control and discipline. So your key attribute is going to be willpower because that is how you cast your spells. So it's kind of important. Anima skills, they suggest animism, beast lore, bushcraft, evade, healing, hunting and fishing, sneaking, and staffs. Elementalist skills that they suggest: elementalism, awareness, evade, healing, languages, myth and legends, spot hidden, and staffs. Mentalist skills: mentalism, acrobatics, awareness, brawling, evade, healing, languages, myth and legends. The heroic ability, so fun fact, as a mage, you don't get a starting heroic ability. Instead, you get your magic. So take your magic, sit on down, cast something cool. No, mages are a lot of cool. They can do a lot of good stuff. There's several times people have been mages in my game, and it can change the battle itself. I promise you. It really can. The Mariner. Again, this is kind of like a swashbuckling pirate, but let's get into it. Foaming waves and ships sailing furiously through the dark waters are the domain and calling of the mariner. Some seafarers are forever sworn to the high seas, others stick to rivers and lakes. But all of them have one thing in common: a symbiotic relationship with the element of water. Often a specific lake, river, or bay, their relationship is always complicated, based on love, respect, and mortal dread in equal measure. Otherwise, the seafaring profession is wide and varied, covering everything from coastal pirates, privateers, and surly ferrymen to whalers, explorers, and authoritative captains of maritime trade expeditions. So your key attribute that you're looking for is agility. The skills they recommend that are profession specific: acrobatics, awareness, hunting and fishing, knives, languages, seamanship, swimming, and swords. And then the heroic ability they suggest is the sea legs. Merchant. Buying cheap and selling dear is the golden rule of merchants. No commodity is too commonplace, no deal too small or insignificant. Instead, every piece of copper is a future gold coin, and instead of every creature, living or undead, is a customer that needs and dreams of luxury. The only thing more important than the customer's wishes is the sweet clatter of gold and silver pouring into the coffers. I would imagine that copper would be in there too, because they're not picky, they'll take it all. Some merchants run permanent shops in towns, villages, and other settlements, Others travel with trade caravans and adventuring companies in constant search of exotic luxury goods, new customers, and marketable artifacts. So, your key attribute that you're looking for is charisma. The skills specific to this profession is going to be awareness, bartering, bluffing, evade, knives, persuasion, sleight of hand, and spot hidden. Your heroic ability is going to be a treasure hunter. And the I'm not talking about heroic abilities at all right now, but treasure hunter is just funny. Basically, you activate it and you look at the DM or the GM and you specifically say, hey, where is the most valuable stuff here? I can smell it. And they tell you which way to go. It's hilarious. So we've got our scholar and we've got our thieves. So for the scholars, scholarly individuals gather knowledge about nature and the shrouded history of the world. They seek the truth in order to understand the unseen forces and deep structures that hold the universe together as a single entity. Some are specialists with specific areas of expertise, such as monsters, plants, or dead languages. Others pride themselves in avoiding limitations and dedicating themselves to an all encompassing, non discriminatory pursuit of knowledge, where the mating calls of dragons, the foaming of beer, and the inner workings of minerals are all covered by the same academic system. Say that 5 times fast. Jesus Christ. Scholars are often very well versed in myths, legends, and folklore and have learned to decipher ancient languages and forgotten scripts. Wow, gosh. It, it's been a long day, and I'm over here trying to read this straight through. Anyways, key attributes that you're looking for a scholar: intelligence. Anything else? I mean, come on, it's always going to be intelligence. Silly. The skills that they suggest specifically for that is profession specific: awareness, beast lore, bushcraft, evade, healing, languages, myth and legends, spot hidden. Of course, lastly, but not lastly, our heroic ability that they give you, well, not give you, but they suggest to you to take is intuition. It's a good one. Trust me. You'll find out. Thieves. Let's talk about thieves. These are fun. These are always fun. After I got done playing Bard for a long time, I played Rogues for a long time. I couldn't help it. They just speak to me. Thieves see themselves as professional experts specialized in the acquisition of other people's property. It is a proud and surprisingly principled profession. They like to prefer or refer to solemn principles of honor and honesty among thieves, something that is often hard to take seriously for thief or theft victims and other outsiders. Many thieves organize themselves into guilds, others take pride in working independently and walk alone through the night in the shadows. Some are discreet specialists whose only method is guile, but the thief profession also includes brutal brigands who do not hesitate to use weapons to achieve their ends. Yeah. A key attribute that you're going to be using is agility. The skills that are specific to this profession that are trained: acrobatics, awareness, bluffing, evade, knives, sleight of hand, sneaking, and spot hidden. And then the heroic ability that that they suggest for this profession is backstabbing. Now, I know backstabbing sounds bad, but it actually works very well. We'll talk about it, I promise. And that's it. That's all for the professions. Now, me personally, I would love to play a scholar. Um, I would love to play a scholar. Honestly, I'd enjoy playing a bard. But tell me in the comments, what top 3 professions would you want to play, starting from 1, 2, and 3? Which ones? Scholar, bard, and knight. Those are my 3: scholar, bard, and knight. So, hey, thank you for hanging out with me as we talked professions. We are going to continue this series on and on. There's still a lot to talk about. We still have a lot of book to cover. We've barely scratched the threshold, but hey, there's plenty of time. There's going to be a video a day. Keep coming back for more. I promise you'll enjoy it. So, as always, like, share, comment, do all the nerdy things, please. But live on and game on, my friends.